We're always told to start investing at an early age. But what if you didn't start early? Did you miss the boat? Is it too late? It's not. Let me tell you why. I'm going to share with you my journey with investing and show to you that it's really not too late to start, because I started when I was 24 years old and I'm currently 27. I have a net worth of about $415,000 under my name. So let's get started. Be sure to stick throughout the end because I will be sharing some of my learnings and I think you guys will find a lot of value in that as well. Also, just wanted to mention this is non-financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, so please do consider getting professional help around your situation and your circumstances. I don't think it matters when you start investing as long as you start, because we all know that inflation is increasing at a rapid rate and having your money just sit in your bank account is really not doing you any good, because the amount of inflation that we are currently seeing is actually eating away at your savings account. For example, in some countries we are seeing the inflation rate be 7%, and now if your bank account is only earning you about 1% to 2%, the 7% is really just getting eaten away. Your money is not growing faster than the rate of inflation, and that means that things are costing you more. Daily groceries, fuel, furniture, household items, everything is a little bit more expensive. So you need your money to work for you, and that is why we are always told to start investing so that we can beat inflation. I have also done a video previously on my channel as well about not relying on your 9-to-5 income solely, because if you lose that income, you're pretty much screwed. So I'll leave that video down below in the description box if you want to watch that. I definitely recommend you do. So the reason that I was a bit late to start investing, I mean, you can say it's late, you can say it's not late, but most people start at the age of 18 and they start saving their money. Unfortunately for me, because I was living at home and my dad was the only person working for the family, my brother and I had to contribute a lot more to the household expenses so that we could live comfortably day to day. So that means my brother and I were paying board towards the household rent and expenses around the house. This didn't leave me with much money for myself in terms of saving or even being able to travel the world like a lot of my other friends would. I started working at the age of 14 years and 9 months, which is the legal age to start working in New South Wales or in Australia. And I was helping my dad at his restaurant and I was doing, waitressing, taking calls, all of that sort of stuff. But I was about 15 years old, so I really wasn't expecting my dad to pay me. In fact, it was just more for me to be able to gain some confidence, gain some skills around talking to people and building rapport. Now, as we were working at this restaurant for about 2 years, I was coming close to my higher school education, and we all know how important year 12 is. So I obviously told my dad that I didn't want to work there anymore so that I could focus on my year 11 and 12 education so that I could get a good ATAR or a good university rank to get through into university. So fast forward a couple of years, I started then working at CBA. I did a few roles at CBA, then I got myself a grad position at KPMG. This was all well and good. I was making some good money, but obviously if you're making good money, then there's more reason for you to contribute towards household expenses. Now, 6 years later, after that point, I decided to take the first step into investing. In 2018, I bought $4,000 worth of cryptocurrency, and this was money that I was okay with losing. I knew that cryptocurrency was volatile. No one really knew whether it was going to go up or down. I was okay putting that little bit of money that I had saved up to put into cryptocurrency. Now, within the next 6 to sort of 12 months, my $4,000 quickly became $200. Now, a lot of people may have thought, why didn't I sell? I didn't sell because what's the point of having $200 in your bank account? It's really not going to do you much. I'd rather just leave it in there and maybe hopefully that cryptocurrency price would actually increase. Now, to my surprise, it definitely did. I definitely held on. I did not sell because I didn't see the point in selling. And then a couple of years later, when I was 25 years old, I bought my first investment property. This was actually just 1 month before the pandemic. Now, 8 months later, that property had actually appreciated because the property prices were increasing. A lot of people saw that there was fear, and with fear, I definitely took on Warren Buffett's advice. And when people are greedy, you need to be fearful. So I did exactly that. A lot of people were fearful, so I was greedy, and I bought another investment property during that time as well. So my first investment property had definitely appreciated, so I extracted a lot of the equity from there to be able to purchase my second property. Now, a year later, I was also delving a little bit more into cryptocurrency as well. We were seeing it more openly spoken about in the news, in media, social media, things like that. And I was like, look, I'm gonna try and give this another go. By that time, my $4,000 investment that I had made, a few years back had actually been worth now about $11,000 to $12,000, which I was really happy about. So I continually started investing, dollar cost averaging my way in, and I also looked into the world of NFTs as well. I purchased my first World of Women, which is a female-led project. I bought that in August last year, and I'm really happy I did, because I really enjoy researching about NFTs, understanding that world, and I think it's a lot of fun. And over the 3 to 4 years that I spent aggressively investing into, you may call them volatile assets. I mean, real estate and property is pretty stable, pretty, secure. So I wanted to make sure my foundations were quite secure, stable and reliable investments. We all know property prices tend to go upwards as long as you hold them for a longer period of time. And for a lot of people, it may not look like it's property, it may be ETFs or shares, whatever it is. So I personally chose investment properties. And then in that time, I was obviously, investing into a little bit more volatile sort of assets like cryptocurrency and NFTs. Now, during those few years, I quickly managed to, increase my net worth to about $415,000. And a lot of this was very passive for me. It was just about, set and forget, deposit money and dollar cost average. And that's really what worked for me. So essentially, a few of my learnings have been that I don't want to have my money sitting in a bank account, because it is really just eating away at my income. Unless, of course, you've got an emergency fund that you're saving up for, then that is okay. Or maybe even your down payment for your first deposit, for your first home loan or investment loan. Now, of course, also I learned that, you have to put your money into assets that are appreciating faster than the rate of inflation, because you don't want your money to be eaten away. I think the act and the idea of constantly investing as well, putting small amounts, whatever you can afford, to potentially have your money compound and definitely grow on its own over the next few years. Now, this is also a strategy that I personally use, and that is leveraging debt. A lot of people would have debt or purchase, an investment loan, and then they would try and pay that down as soon as possible. But for me, I didn't do that. I kept extracting equity from the first property to purchase my second one, third one, and that's essentially what I plan to do for the next few years. Therefore, this allows you to have, additional sources of income as well coming through, instead of just relying on your 9-to-5 job. So if you want to follow me over on my investing journey, then please do follow me over on my Instagram and my TikTok account, Success by Sanjana. I'll leave it on the screen for you, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Thanks, guys.